Moonjumper here with two separate clips from two separate previous episodes of Who Cares What I Think, where I was pointing out just a few examples where current Star Trek boss Alex Kurtzman and his co-creators at Secret Hideout and CBS Paramount Plus have erroneously trumpeted multiple groundbreaking firsts for this half-century-old sci-fi franchise, virtue signaling that they, the White Knights of woke Hollywood, have arrived to finally fix this racist, sexist, homophobic, transphobic, unenlightened knuckle-dragger of a franchise, Star Trek, which never addressed any of these issues before they got here. You're welcome. The only problem is, each one of these milestones were in some form accomplished by Star Trek decades ago, some before Alex Kurtzman was even born. Which begs the question, has he or his co-creators watched any of the classic episodes of the franchise they are currently running, or are they just bold-faced lying about it? So sit back, fire up the gaslight, and roll those beautiful clips. Now, I mentioned in my review of the trailer that I was never hung up on whether Michael Burnham was a Mary Sue or not. For those who don't know, Michael Burnham, played by Sonequa Martin Green, is the main hero of Star Trek Discovery, just like Kirk was the main hero of the original series, which is fine by me. If she's the hero, let her be the hero. My problem with Discovery was never Michael Burnham. My problem with Discovery is its complete destruction of the continuity. That said, there's no question that back before Discovery even aired, the creatives in the Kurtzman camp came on the stage in the most abrasive, tone-deaf manner they could, snarking about how passé the original series was with its, quote, cardboard sets, end quote, and its racist, sexist casting. Star Trek we're talking about. They, these new Hollywood hipsters, were here to fix the franchise they clearly knew nothing about, bragging that they had cast the first minority female commander and the first LGBTQ main character, both of which they had to end up walking back after it was pointed out to them that Captain Sisko was black, and Captain Janeway was a woman, and Colonel Kira was a woman. And before you split hairs and say, oh, but Michelle Yeoh, and I love Michelle Yeoh, I'm not criticizing Michelle Yeoh or any of the Discovery cast members. They've got a great cast. That's not the point. But Michelle Yeoh played the first minority and female captain simultaneously in a prominent recurring role. Wrong! That distinction should probably go to Captain Erica Hernandez on Enterprise 15 plus years ago. And when it comes to LGBTQ, you got DS9. Jadzia Dax was an openly bisexual and arguably transgendered woman, not to mention the Dax symbiont itself is androgynous. And holy moly, they are doing it again! I can't believe this! This is breaking news as I record this. The Kurtzman camp over at Secret Hideout is proudly announcing that Star Trek Discovery Season 3 will introduce the first, their words not mine, the first non-binary and transgendered characters in Star Trek history, which is wonderful news. Problem is, they're not the first, and 4 years in, why don't they know this? Enterprise introduced the Visians, which includes an undefined third gender, neither male nor female, called a cogenitor. That was over 15, almost 20 years ago. I already mentioned Dax from Deep Space Nine, which the Discovery showrunners have apparently already forgotten about after being previously called on it, and any Star Trek fan is certainly familiar with Soren of the Najai, whose entire species is non-gendered. Soren, with whom Commander Riker had a romance 30 years ago. But forget that. How about 56 years ago? The year was 1964. Yes, I'm talking about The Cage. Gene Roddenberry wanted the Telosians to be completely androgynous. That means without any definable sex. He hired female actors to portray vaguely masculine, vaguely feminine figures with electronically filtered voices that were equally androgynous. Roddenberry talked about this for decades prior to his death. And guess what? The woke, oh so well researched showrunners of Discovery completely missed that when they made the season 2 episode If Memory Serves, a direct sequel to The Cage, possibly the only classic episode any of them ever watched. And by Discovery standards, it's actually a fairly decent episode. But these woke showrunners that are here to fix Star Trek completely missed the whole point of the Talosians' undefined sexuality by hiring male actors with big booming male voices. Great job. Oh, and of course they had to redo the Talosians' brilliant timeless makeup design, because Discovery. And these folks lecture Star Trek fans who were raised on the concept of infinite diversity and infinite combinations. Fans who know Star Trek's long celebrated history of inclusion. So yeah, it kind of rubs people the wrong way when the showrunners of modern Trek trumpet that they are the first to do this and the first to do that when they clearly are not. And you have to wonder, are they that ignorant of the source material, which they are literally being paid to know inside and out, or are they lying? Thinking the fans of the franchise who know the source material somehow won't notice? I honestly don't know which is worse. That foment's resentment, and it's frankly a disservice to their own characters vis-a-vis fans feeling any warmth or goodwill towards the key example, Michael Burnham. Even though I think she's an okay character and very well acted.
Followed by Star Trek Prodigy, the first animated Trek show for children.
The first animated Star Trek show for kids. Well, not counting Filmation Star Trek the Animated Series, which I watched religiously as a little boy on Saturday mornings nearly 50 years ago, but that's just history. Who cares what I think? Moonjumper here, and welcome to Who Cares What I Think, episode 13, just in time for Halloween 2021. Nickelodeon Star Trek Prodigy has premiered, first on Paramount Plus to be later broadcast on Nickelodeon. It is targeted towards children. It is not the first animated Star Trek series targeting a child demographic. And before anyone starts yelling at me that a Saturday morning cartoon on NBC in 1973 and 74 was primarily targeted at adults and not children, let me just say that when Star Trek the Animated Series won the 1975 Daytime Emmy Award for Outstanding Children's Series, it wasn't because it was not aimed at children. It certainly was aimed at children. I should know. I was one of those children. Filmation Star Trek is literally what introduced me to Star Trek as a small child, and I still love and regularly watch that classic series to this day, and I'm not ashamed to admit that I, as a 50-year-old man, am still in love with a very smartly written children's series, which was typical of Filmation. Lou Scheimer and Norm Prescott, who were the founders and producers of Filmation, they were dedicated to producing series for children which did not talk down to children. Again, I should know, I'm something of a Filmation and Hanna-Barbera connoisseur. I've got shelves full of these classic series on DVDs and Blu-rays. These shows were educational. They taught kids about science and technology, morals. They were well written and engaging, and you bet that I, as a 50-year-old man, am not in the least bit embarrassed to pop any of them into my player, which I do almost nightly, and I don't care who knows it. That doesn't mean that I'm under some delusion that I, as a 50-year-old man, was the original target audience. I, as a little boy in the 1970s, was the original target audience, and I am quite comfortable enough in my own skin to admit that. No shame, no embarrassment whatsoever, because I am an adult. But here comes Alex Kurtzman and his cohorts at CBS and Secret Hideout once again claiming another fake first for Star Trek, this time claiming that Prodigy is Trek's first animated children's show, once again demonstrating that they either have no historical knowledge of the franchise they are currently running, or that they are willing to brazenly lie about it. You tell me which is worse. And stop the tape. Thank you so much for checking out these two clips from my humble little show called Who Cares What I Think. Hopefully you do, and you can't wait to check out the full complete episodes linked down below and at the end of this video. As you like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you won't miss a single one of my unsolicited opinions about whatever the heck I feel like opining on. From deep in the heart of Texas, I am Moonjumper.
Who cares what I think?